Everybody, we are live from the camper at the moment, and it's not snowing right now. It was snowing earlier. Oh, hang on, I gotta clean this front here. I didn't realize it's got a little bit of a smudge on it, so hang tight. That's a little bit. I don't know what's up with that. It's got a little bit of a glare on it, which normally it doesn't. So, all right, let's go outside, show you what's been going on. We had some snow earlier, but it all melted. So if you look around here, we had some rain come through after the snow, but we've got another round coming in at the moment. And if we look over there, you can see it's coming in. So it's been coming in in waves today. And we had some, maybe about a ½ inch earlier, but like I said, it just keeps coming in waves. And then the rain kicked in, and it was pretty good rain at the moment, well, earlier. And then it looks like we've got another round that's gonna last until probably about 7 p.m. is what they're saying. And temperatures have dropped substantially. It warmed up a little bit this afternoon, and that's when all the snow melted. But then it's probably cooled down to almost freezing now. So, hey, what's up, Luke? Mike, how's it going? So Meadow's been keeping herself busy looking at all the chickens over here, and they're doing really good. They've been growing up quite a bit. The feathers, as you can see, are starting to really fill in. So they're getting their adult feathers. And once those adult feathers are good to go, then I can transfer them to the chicken coop. And I don't have the chicken coop set up yet, but we're gonna start getting that all squared away. I got some supplies the other day when I went into town, and we're gonna get them transferred over here probably within, I would say, the next 3 to 4 weeks. And yo, what's up, Josh? Yeah, man, I'm hoping so. Hey, so I just got those seeds for it's called the Mountain Meadow Blend. It's like a wildflower seeds for this area of northern Arizona and also northern Nevada, or I'm sorry, northern New Mexico. So that came in to the post office yesterday, so I gotta go pick those up. I'm excited for that. But I wanted to show you guys something really cool. I have this golden eagle. So I live in what's called an important bird area. They call them IBAs in Arizona. I think there's like 43 of them, and essentially it's these corridors where birds, different types of species of birds can really do well. And in my area, it's considered a bird of prey corridor. And so you would get lots of falcons and stuff like that. And one of the cool things is I've got a golden eagle that lives on that ridge behind me. So I took this video earlier. Let me show you. I've got a drone that has a 9x zoom. And so this is the ridge that's behind my place. And if you look here, there's an eagle's nest that's right there. So I was out this far, and then I could zoom in. So I wanted to show you kind of how far back it was. But when I zoomed in, I was this close up to it. So we're gonna go ahead and let this play. And this is the bird. This is the big eagle that's always behind my place, roaming the skies. And it's got a wingspan of about 6 feet, I would say, if I had to guess. And there was a time when I was up on the rocks behind me, doing some hiking around and just kind of exploring. And this eagle came and landed on a rocks about 15 yards from me. And the talons on the eagle were just, I mean, it was like something out of like a Predator movie. It was insane. And yeah, Mike, he loves chicken, that's for sure. And so it was cool to get this eagle just kind of chilling there. I was far enough away to where it didn't disturb it. And you know, you don't ever want to disturb these animals, because you don't want to have it to where they leave their premise or their nesting area. That's actually against the law to disturb them where they leave the nesting area. But as we back up here, you'll kind of see how big the cliff is that this bird is on, and just how massive that eagle is. And so right there is where the nest is as we're backing out. And this eagle is all over the skies around here, constantly roaming the skies. And I always see it flying around, so it's really cool to see Mikey. I love the property. I've been a fan. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in all these years. Having fun out here, man. Things are going really good with the tall grass that I planted last year. I planted that last fall, and it's really starting to take root. What I did was, there was a lot of tall grass that was left over from last year that had, you know, these dead shoots that were sticking up. And it's a good idea to eliminate those dead shoots. You can either go through with like a lawnmower or a weed whacker, or like if cows come through and you know, graze the grass. That's really good for it. Same with horses. And so what I did was I just went through and I hand trimmed it, and then I laid that down on all the areas out here. And let's go outside. I'll show you. Let's see, it's funny. Meadow just sits there constantly and is constantly looking at the chickens. But let's go outside. I'll show you. No, Meadow, you stay here. No, you stay here. She ran off earlier, so she gets to stay inside because I'm not going to deal with this. But as the storm comes in here, hey, what's up, Vivian? How you doing? But as the storm comes in, we'll look at this real quick. I took all this grass that I trimmed and I laid it down. And if you see here, you know, this is like an area where the tall grass is coming in, right here. And then I've got it, you know, around various sections of this area. We've got some right there that's coming in. So this is all the seed that I planted last year. I planted it all throughout this area right here. Oh yeah, we got some snow coming down right now. It's starting to show up. Then I've got another area over here where the seed's coming down. Oh, another thing too is one of my century plants is starting to bloom. Let's look at this. Look at how cool is this looking? So every 10, but it roughly, depending on how old the century plants are, they bloom anywhere from 10 to 30 years. And then once they bloom once, they're done. They die out. But I've also planted all the tall grass seed through this area. That's starting to come up as well. Not as much as the other spot, but if you see, you know, we still have got some grass coming in, like right there, over in this section. So it's starting to really come up, which is cool. So ice headed your way, hit me right now. Yeah, Josh, it's we've got some flakes coming down at the moment. You can kind of see it coming over this area there. Then yeah, you can kind of see it up against the Toon camper. We're starting to get a little bit of snow. So I think this is probably the last, you know, the last snowstorm of the year. I'm hoping so, because I really was getting used to the warmer weather and sleeping with the windows open at night and all that stuff. That's real nice. But if we look over this way, you can see a little bit more snow coming in from that area as well. So see Joanne, hi from Oklahoma. Hey, what part of Oklahoma? That's cool. Is that the Dennis the Menace plant? Over here, I wanted to show you real quick. So this ridge behind me, this is where the eagle lives, right there. That golden eagle that I just showed you the video of. And it's really cool seeing it roll around. 2 years ago, there was actually 2 baby chicks up there with it. And so Mama had some chicks up there she was feeding. But really cool to see that around the area, and being in this important bird area, like the corridor that I'm in, is really impressive to see all these eagles. Because like when I was rolling around earlier, probably, I don't know, last week sometime, it was like up in the sky, it was just nothing but golden eagles all over the place, which is really cool. So for those that didn't see it, that are just tuning in, I'll show you again. With the ridge behind my place, I took this drone footage earlier. And so I was backed out about, let's see, it was this far. So I was backed out like that, but I can zoom in real close. So this was when I could zoom in with my 9x zoom with the golden eagle that lives up there. And so the wingspan on that, like I said, about 6 feet, really impressive bird. And it was just chilling. It was just kind of amazing, you know, just to see it up there. And yeah, Pack Out Boy 300, it's amazing to have the golden eagle nesting in your area. I agree. It's really cool to see the golden eagle. I mean, and there's been times too where there's been another one that's been up here, and so it's they come around quite often. And being in this corridor where it's an important bird area, you know, there's a ranch to the north of me that's 770,000 acres. It's the largest ranch in Arizona, and a large portion of the IBA is on their land. And you know, to put it into perspective, 770,000 acres is 1,200 square miles. So can you imagine having a property that big? That's huge. I have 14 acres, and it feels huge to me. So I couldn't even imagine having a place that big, which would be impressive. It's the largest ranch in Arizona, though. It's one of the top 25 ranches in the United States. And they open up 220,000 of it for elk hunting. But you know, I'd love to eventually get an elk hunt up there. You can hire a guide and go to an elk hunt, and they always say that people have good success up there since it's such a massive area and there's no one around. But other than that, just been working on the property. I've been clearing more land. I've been taking the scrub oak that has been kind of choking out all those baby pine trees, clearing out more of that. Also taking a lot of the cactus, the prickly pear cactus, out of here, and getting that just kind of eliminated from the property. Main reason for that is Meadow likes to run fast, and she will have a tendency to hit those with her paws. And the little spines, the big spines I can see pretty easy, but the little spines are the same color as her fur, so it's real hard to get those out. So let's see, Scott, school's out and a couple of kids and I are checking out. You're like, oh, that's awesome, Scott. I hope you guys are having a good, I hope you guys have a good weekend. So see, Mike Gray would love some snow. It's already hot, too hot here in Dallas. What are your temps in Dallas? I know Phoenix has been getting hot. I think they hit over 100 the other day. But up here, it's been nice and cool. We did have one day where it got about 80. And that was last, I think it's about a week ago. It was like last Thursday. But then since then, it's been pretty small, or it's been pretty cool. It's cooling off like around 70. And then today it's been pretty cold. It hasn't even made up to 50. So let's see. You're saying 1,200 square miles is about 20% of Connecticut. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's I can't imagine a ranch that big. I mean, there's one to the south of me, and that's 257,000 deeded acres. And the cool thing about that ranch is they haven't put any roads through it. They've got just mainly just around the big ranch house, they've got roads, but everything else is accessible only either on four-wheeler or horseback or mule. And they've got 7 different cow camps because it's a big cattle operation. They've got 7 different cow camps around their property, and one of them is considered the most remote cow camp in the entire country. And all the big name cowboys always apply to work there because it's considered like an honor to work at that place because everything is on horseback and it's all old school. And it's a Spanish land grant from the 1820s, so way before Arizona was a state. And you know, it'd be impressive to get on that land. I've heard that the main ranch house, since they have so many Native American ruins on their site, and that the Native American culture that I go check out all the time, called the Prescott culture, the main areas where they, you know, really hunker down at, where they first came to Arizona in 200 AD, is on their land. And so I've been told, a friend of mine has a buddy of his who just became the new ranch manager, so I'm hoping to get on their property eventually one of these days. And he told me, he's like, man, the main ranch house is like a museum on the inside. They've got so many artifacts. Because when it's on private land, you can take the artifacts out of the deal. Hey, what's up, Tim? What's going on, man? How's everything going with the new truck? I've been following all the stuff on Instagram, and I know you kind of had some issues going through Kansas, but you got that flatbed on it. And it looks like you got back to Alaska. So you and Eden. Hey, and I was gonna say, you know, if you're before Overland Expo, if you want a place to chill like for an evening and just kind of kick back and relax, then you're more than welcome to crash at my place. I'm only about an hour west of there, so about to head your way with it. I'll be at over. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna come up on that Sunday night and crash out, but I'm not gonna go for the entire weekend, just because I'm still getting Meadow socialized, and she does pretty good with people now, but it's still, I think with that big crowd, I think it'd be an issue. So check this out. Meadow, it's nonstop with her with these chickens. She'll just sit here all day long and check them out. So there's the chickens right there, and then she's she's been chilling. So yeah, she's been a handful. She's starting to chill out. I mean, you know, when I adopted her, the people that I got her from were like, oh yeah, she's an Aussie Shepherd. Well, she's a Belgian Malinois. That's way different. That's a police dog, you know. And so all this, I've been watching a bunch of training videos online, and they said that if as long as you can get up to like year 3, like the first 3 years are just, it's like a terror, but up until once you get past that, apparently they turn into like the best dogs on the planet. So I'm holding out hope for that. Because I went from having Sierra, which was like literally the best social dog on the planet, she loved everybody, to this one who's pretty good, especially once she gets to know you. She's great with you, but it's just that getting to know people, you know. And it's been kind of frustrating because when Sierra passed, I wanted to start being more social. I mean, I got the camper on my truck, and I thought, cool, I'll go out and I'll go do more meetups and all those things. And I've kind of been on social lockdown with Meadow, but you know, hopefully that changes. We'll see how that works. But anyway, around the property though, I've been doing more work on planting native Arizona tallgrass, and then I just got my seeds that arrived in the mail. And so the seeds are they're wildflower seeds that are native to northern Arizona and northern New Mexico. And so the areas where I planted tallgrass, I also want to inundate that with all those natural flowers. There's like 8 of them that are going to be coming in, and I'll show you the spots. Stay back, Meadow. Show you the spots out here where I'm thinking. So I've got this area over here that I cleared out, and oh, thanks, Josh. You'll dog sitter. I need a break. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and I may hit you up for that, you know, if I need to go do a meetup for like a weekend or something. And she's good at, like, she's really great with Chad. Like if she's around Chad, she's like the most affectionate dog ever. But it's just getting past that first meeting, you know, period when she's getting to know you. So, but we'll talk about that later. But over here, I've been putting in all these swales. So if you see, I've got one over here, and these irrigation channels that comes off the roof here on the camper cover. But this is where all the tall grass is, and I'm going to blend in a bunch of different bunch of, like, you know, tall grass, or not tall grass, but wildflowers. And then all this swale here, and then that one, that's where all the trees are going to go, like the fruit trees that I'm going to do. And so a Curse fan is metal on the spectrum. She might be, man. I don't know. It's kind of funny. But then over here, oops, sorry about that. The audio was gone. Sorry about that, folks. I hit the wrong button there. Sorry about that. But got the trees, got those all cut down, and then made the fence around here. And then I've got another water container. Whoops. Got another water container right here. And that's going to be on the back side of the Wallapini, because right here, I lined it up with some stones. These stones right here, that's directly due south, which is what you need for the wintertime, because I want to grow food year round. And so what I've got is I've got the water container here is going to collect water off the roof, and then I'm going to use that to feed the garden. So stoked about that. And then everything else is going good. Just had to put the stove back in because of the cold temperatures. But excited for this year. They're saying that the monsoon season is going to be pretty active. And if that's the case, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And you want to balance those stones a little probably. Yeah. So what's the temp? Right now it's about 34 out. So it's getting chilly. And this evening is supposed to get down to 24. And then, but like I was saying, I hope this is the last snowstorm of the year. I want to go fly fishing next week. And so I was talking with Larry from Work Less, Enjoy Life More. And I think we're going to go hit up Oak Creek Canyon. And my neighbor Darren has offered to take care of my chickens when I want to go fish and do stuff like that. Because now that the chickens are old enough to where I can start to do like an overnight and things like that, then you know, it's no problem for him to come over and just switch out the water and all those things, and you know, just make sure that they can access more food and things of that nature. And then once I get the chicken coop completely built, I'll have automatic feeders and automatic waters in there. But then Darren told me, he's like, yeah, I'll come over and check on them if you want to go fly fish for like a week or two. So let's see, be good if you grow feed for chickens. Yeah, Luke, that's kind of what I want to do. Is see highly sensitive to great channel. But I appreciate that, man. It seemed like any house build plans. Well, I'm going to change what I was going to do. Excuse me. I was going to do the Forest Service lookout tower. The problem with that is, you know, more people around here are starting to get to know that I'm out here, and they're like, I had a friend of mine tell me like, oh yeah, like people are out looking for you now and seeing where you live, and I kind of want to just keep my privacy. And so I think it's going to be more advantageous for me to be on the ground and not be up high, because if I'm up high, people could drive by and they could be like, oh, that's where Brian's at. And I just like my privacy, you know. I put up it's kind of like a gate. It's more of a chain across the front of my place, because I was having some folks drive in here, and I don't want to have it to where people are just stopping by all the time. And you know, I think most everyone would be cool, but you just never know. You know, there's some crazy people out there, and I get them every once in a while. I'll get some hate emails, you know, like, screw you, I hate your channel, da 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 da. It's like, come on, man, like I'm not doing anything wrong. But I think it's just some people are, you know, just kind of like that. So I see Chad. What's up, buddy? Keep your circle tight. Yeah, that. I just want to, and I enjoy my privacy, you know, and I just I don't know. It puts me on edge when people come around that I don't know, and I've had it before. I had some friends of mine camping here one time, and some dude just walked on my property. Like, hey man, I follow your channel, and he was cool, but still, it's just like, dude, I don't know you, you know, and that can be kind of a weird situation. Then I've had it too when I've been out camping. You know, people will come up and and come into my camp, and it's just like an invasion of privacy. I understand, because like I'm online, and people want to say, hey, what's up, and like I want to say, hey, what's up to people that I know that I've seen online too. But you kind of also want to, you know, understand that sometimes it's best to give folks some space. So, but you know, luckily I'm out here in the country to where it's still kind of hard to find where I'm at. You basically have to be on top of my place to know I'm here, and you can't just like, you know, drive by. You know, you have to drive by pretty close to see where I'm at. And so the Forest Service lookout plans have been scrapped, and I think, like I said, I'm just going to do a house on just on ground floor. So, see, Meadow has Asperger's, Center chickens. Chris, man, that's funny. So you have to be safe nowadays. Yeah, Susan, Steve, no class. So yeah, there's some people that can be kind of weird. So, um, Metaglypto, that's cool. Well, if, we've talked a bunch, man. We've even talked on email. So if I ever saw you out, say hello. That'd be cool. So. So I don't see Sarah. I don't know why people feel like they have a right to your time 24/7. Yeah, it's when I was on the road a lot, and especially when my channel was really going off, when I had all those winter camping videos that went crazy, I'd have people that would drive by winter camp, and they'd always be like, hey, what's up, man? And I'd be like, hey, how's it going? Like wave, but then people would start pulling in, and so I started getting way back off of the roads with where I was at winter camping because my tent was so recognizable, and my truck as well. They see those two together, and they would know who I was. But I've also seen people like it's really cool when I go up to Williams and I go to the grocery store there. Literally every single time I'm in the grocery store, I'll have 2 or 3 people stop me and be like, "Hey man, I follow your channel. I just want to say what's up." And they're really cool about it. And I'm always like, well, and there was like one dude. His name was Brian. I talked to him for probably like 20 minutes one time. He was really cool. And I will have to say, like the crowd around here has been pretty mellow. And people in town as well. They're like, "Oh yeah, we heard that there's a YouTuber around," and they're not. They're not like they are in Colorado. Colorado, you get a lot of the compare and compete mindset nowadays out there, and I think it's just because there's a lot more people coming around, and the mountain towns have been kind of inundated, and they feel as though they've been overrun. But out here, it's not like that because the parcels out here are so big and they're so spread out. And I added up the private land around me, and there is 1.5 million acres of private land among 5 ranches around me. So, oh hey, what's up, Donnie? How you doing? So let's see, it's your birthday tomorrow. Whoops. Let's see. What does it say? Oh, cool. That's awesome. It's your birthday tomorrow. Well, happy birthday early. Let's see, Luke, will you get another dog? I don't think so. Right now, one's enough. If I got another dog, I think I'd go crazy. But back to what I was saying about the area stays quaint just due to the fact that, number one, the economics of it, there's nobody moving out here for a job. And so you could get a job in town, I guess, but you'd have to live in town because it wouldn't afford you the life to be out here. It'd just be too much in gas to run back and forth every day. And plus, too, there's just not a lot of jobs in town. The town's only 400 people. And a lot of them are service jobs, just like restaurants, stuff like that. And so I don't think, anybody's moving out here for financial reasons. So you either work online or you bring your money with you. So there's like retired folks, and there's people like me that can work online. And that's about it. And then also too, not everybody wants to be off grid in the middle of nowhere. The town that's closest to me, it does have services. You can go in and it's got a little car place to get your car fixed. It's got a Dollar General, so you can get basic items. It's got a grocery store that's pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of stuff, but it's got what you need. And then a few restaurants. The restaurants are actually pretty good because we're the halfway stop between Vegas and the Grand Canyon, and so the tour buses stop off here on the during midday, so we do get some good business for that during the middle part of the day. So that's how those restaurants are able to stay alive. But like other than that, it's just not a place that I guess it's kind of overlooked, you know. And Josh, so yeah, that's all my neighbors retired or online workers. Yeah, that's the same with mine. Everybody out here is either retired or works online. There's one guy in here that does all the excavation work for everybody in the neighborhood, and that's about it. But that's about the only guy I know that works local. But the ranches around me, like I was saying, that ranch to the north, 770,000 acres. There's 2 ranches to the east of me. One's 256,000 acres. Another one's 100,000 acres. The ranch to the south is 257,000 acres, and the ranch to the west is 120,000 acres. So you add all that up, it's crazy to think that there's only 5 ranches that have all that property around us. So that's what keeps the area quaint. And I didn't really know all that. It's okay, Meadow. I didn't really know all that when I moved out here. I just liked the area. And then as I got to know more about the demographics and the geography and kind of the lay of the land, I realized how lucky I was to land in this spot. And that's why I'm also kind of guarded about saying where I am. I don't want a lot of people coming around. I want people to find it because they want to be out here, not because I told them where it's at. So that's why when people message me, I'll send them a map of areas that I think are cool, but I don't include my area. So, let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Paul, going to hit the White Mountains again this summer. Most definitely. And what I would like to do is I would like to hit up a couple places on the Apache Res that have those huge Apache trout, like Hurricane Lake, Christmas Tree Lake, those spots to where you have to buy a special permit to go out there because you're fishing for Apache trout, which is only you can only find those in Arizona. But there's some in there, like Hurricane Lake has the biggest Apache trout on record. I think it's like a 5-pounder, which that's a pretty big trout. And so the fact that that's the only fish that ever made it on that ever got removed from the endangered list. Every other fish that's been on the endangered list has gone extinct. But then the Apache trout has not, because the Apache tribe, Arizona Game and Fish, and there's one other organization. They have done extensive restoration efforts over the past 40 years to get that fish back on track. And it's up to, I think, 27 sustainable fisheries. And so once it gets to 30, it can be taken off the endangered list. And so it's just about to the point to where it's back to its original kind of, I don't know if you want to call it the original habitat, but back to the point to where it can be considered totally fine and not endangered at all. So is it trout unlimited? Yeah, okay. So you have a friend that travels around being a ranch hand. Oh, that's cool. That'd be a fun job, I think. And so Paul, so you've been out to Hurricane. I saw that you can rent that entire lake. So that'd be awesome to do. Get some friends together and rent that lake for a couple of days and just fish like crazy. And especially if it's a good monsoon season, I mean, out there it'd just be absolutely incredible. So Connie, I would absolutely love to live in the country again. Whereabouts did you live prior to where you're at now? I love it out here. I like it because it's quiet and you don't really hear your neighbors a lot. A lot of neighbors are like-minded, and I think they just sold that ranch to the west, being cut the junipers. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that it was for sale. They wanted $42 million for it. So I was wondering if anybody had $42 million sitting around so I could be their buddy. So, but yeah, isn't that the land too, Josh, where we went right on the west side of it, and that's where all those petroglyphs are that we went in that spillway? I think that's the same spot, because you're right there. You butt up pretty much right there next to it. I heard they have native trout in one of their creeks and also one of their ponds, which would be insane. So let's see, Meme, are you in New Hampshire? No, I'm not. I'm in Arizona. So not spent any time up in New Hampshire, but I've heard it's pretty up there. I also love to go to Maine and fish for those massive brook trout that are up there. That'd be awesome. Check out Meadow. I keep looking over at her. Check this out. This is what Meadow will do literally all day. She'll just sit here and just push her nose up against it and watch for those chickens. So Josh, yeah, that fence is being replaced. Oh, okay. Because I remember we hopped that fence a while back to go check out those petroglyphs. So let me show you the chickens again. They're really growing up. They're doing awesome. What you thinking there, Meadow? So we've got the blonde ones you see. Those are buff Orpingtons. They lay anywhere from 3 to 5 eggs per week. And the black ones are the black sex links, and those same things, 3 to 5 eggs per week. So I've got 10 total. So anywhere from 30 to 50 eggs a week, roughly. So let's say average of 40. And I told my neighbor Darren that's going to help me out with taking care of the chickens when I want to go fly fishing. I told him he has free eggs. Whenever he wants them, just come over and get them. And that's my trade-off for me to be able to go out for a week or two at a time and go from there. Let's see, where'd you get your chickens, Murdoch? No, we got them from, I can't remember the name of this place. I think it was called, I'm going to pull it up here real quick. I think I still have it on my computer. Oh, no, I deleted it. It was a place out of Salt Lake City. And it's actually north of Salt Lake City. It's a really good farm up there. And they only do local pickup. But I had a friend that was up there, and so she grabbed a bunch of them for us. We put in an order, and she went up there a month later and got them. And so they're good. None of us have had any chickens die, which is really amazing because a lot of times you'll have, like, say if you get 10 chickens, like 2 will die, because genetically they're not very strong animals. But I think these were a few days older than just like brand new chickens. And so yeah, Metaglypto, she definitely is the predator. It's not like she's not looking after them for safety or nothing. So let's see, Susan, do you get lots of rattlesnake? No, I've only seen one in 5 years that I've been up here. Let's see, Aguilar, looking for some off-grid land in Arizona where temperature does not go above 80. Any tips? Let's see. You probably want to get up in the White Mountains, so I would think, or somewhere near Flagstaff, but near Flagstaff's pretty expensive. So White Mountains, like, you could be over by the Alpine area. Let's see where else. Is it Pinedale? No, it's not Pinedale. Pine Top. Pine Top, that's right next to the Apache Res over there. Let's see where else. I'd say around Alpine. Look around Alpine area, kind of like into the south of it, because that's about 8,500 feet in elevation. Now they do get a lot of snow in the wintertime, but there's also some great streams and lakes and rivers over there to fish, and it's really a pretty area of the country. And there's not a whole lot of people up there, so there's a few places up here in Alaska you can fish. Yeah, Scott, no kidding. I'd love to come up there and go fishing in that spot. So, but I don't think I'm going to be doing any trips to Colorado this summer, just with the chickens. And also, too, I want to start hitting some new terrain. And so I'm thinking of the Eastern Sierras and then the White Mountains. So those are going to be my two stomping grounds. And they're going to be more planned trips. It's not going to be like just roaming. I'm going to go out with intent. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to fish these spots because I'll have a limited amount of time because I got to get back for the chickens. So the chickens, I mean, I don't mind having them here, and I don't mind not going out as often as I used to, because even with the tune camper, like my back and everything nowadays, just being in that small truck for so long, I think I just have some lingering injuries that when I get out to go camp, after about a week, I'm like, all right, I want to get back to my place and hit the hot tub, And I love that hot tub. I've actually got it going right now, so we're going to hit that here in a bit. So, but for those that are just now tuning in or haven't seen the video, I do want to show you one more time. The Golden Eagle, that's behind my place. There is a ridge, and see Timmy Kramer, winter chicken there. Yeah, that's for sure, especially for meadow. The ridge behind my place, right, let's see, where is it? Right there is a Golden Eagle. It's a Golden Eagle nest. And so I was out this morning with my drone flying around, and I noticed that the eagle was there. I've got a 9x zoom on my drone, so I was back this far, and when I hit the 9x zoom, this is what I came up with here. And so we'll make it go bigger. And it's basically eagle just chilling. It's just kind of doing its thing. And I don't know if it's got baby chicks up there. It did have baby chicks 2 years ago. There were 2 of them, and they were white when they were right after they hatched. And so she could be maybe taking care of some eggs right now, because this is the female. There's a male that comes around. It's not as big. And this female, I mean, it's probably the wingspan, if I had to guess, is probably about 6 feet. And I saw it one time when I was up there on the ridge. I was hiking around the rocks, and it came and landed like really close to me, which I was kind of surprised. Only about 15 yards away, so I was really still. But when it came in, the claws, the talons on this thing were just enormous. And so you can see it next to these huge boulders. I mean, that's a big, big, big bird. And I live in what's called an important bird area. There's 43 of them in Arizona. I mean, look how big that nest is. It hangs all the way down. But there's 43 of them in Arizona, and this one's known for the bird of prey that are around here. There's 15 different types of birds of prey. And they say it's a perfect golden eagle habitat in this area. And so it's really cool to be able to see, a golden eagle like that. And I see it patrolling the skies all the time. It's always flying around here. And the other day I went to the well because I had to get more water. And the skies, I mean, literally everywhere there were golden eagles flying around. So it's really cool to see them out here, which lends to, it being a quaint area. There's not a lot of noise. There's not a lot of people around. And so there's nothing really disturbing these animals. And I didn't want to get close on my drone because I didn't want to disturb this, because that's actually against the law to do for any sort of golden eagle or bald eagle. And so you have to keep your distance. You can't take their feathers. You can't disturb it. You can't do anything with the nest. Can't do anything with the eggs. And you basically want to make it to where if you disturb that animal or that bird enough to where it leaves its nest, that's actually a felony, and you'll get big time in trouble for that. And so the people around here, we're all quiet, and so the bird doesn't ever get disturbed. But it's just impressive to see them fly around the skies. I did see, let me see if I can pull this up here. I'll show this to you. This is kind of a harrowing video, but I sent this to my buddy Barron the other day. And I was like, check this out. So this is an Instagram one. This is what knocked people out close to the nest. Yeah, sir. Well, I wasn't close to the nest. That's a 9x zoom on that. And when I saw it when it came down, when it landed on the rocks, I was actually in another, like, an area way far away. It's just this one rock. For some reason, it goes there and kind of looks out. And so I didn't realize it until after it landed there. But after it did land there, I consistently see it at this one rock. It's actually on the knob up behind my place. And so it came over there and landed. But let me show you this real quick. Let's see. Where is? There it is. Okay, so check this out. So this is how golden eagles are considered one of the most powerful birds of prey that there is, and they can pick up animals that are way bigger than they are. So check out what it did to this deer. So check this out. It's carrying a deer, and instead of killing the deer, it will just drop it. And then after it drops the deer, and of course it dies, or whatever the animal is, it dies, then it will come back down and pick it up. So this is a golden eagle right here doing this. And the fact that it can take an animal that big and pick it up and still fly is amazing. And so that's actually how they hunt and how they harvest their prey. Now, granted, that's not a big deer; it's a smaller deer. But the fact is, I was reading this thing and it was saying that these birds can pick up animals that are about a time and a half of what they weigh, and almost up to 2 times of what they weigh, which is insane that they do that. So I didn't realize that that's how they hunt, and that's pretty amazing. So you've had birds of prey start to dive on an RC plane, but not a drone. I would still watch. So yeah, I don't ever get close to that thing, because number one, the drone's expensive. The drone I have is about $2,000. But number two, the blades on the drone, they're not protected, and so it could totally cut that animal up. It could cut the bird up. If it came in, it would totally jack up its feet if it tried to get it. And I don't want to ever hurt these animals, and so or hurt these birds. But it's so cool to see them flying, because you'll see big birds in the sky. You'll see like big crows or falcons, and then you see a golden eagle. You're like, oh my God, that thing's like at least 2 times, maybe 3 times as big as those birds. And it's really cool to check them out. So. But anyway, that's about it for tonight, guys. Just wanted to log on and just give you an update of what's going on. We got a video for you coming tomorrow. It's going to be the 7 things to not do when you move off grid to just fit in with your community. Just want to give some guidelines of just some things that I've noticed over the years that I think are best practices. So when if you decide to move off grid, kind of some rules to follow, and then you'll have no problems with your community and your neighbors and all that stuff. But thanks everybody for tuning in. One more shot of Meadow here, and then one more shot of the chickens, and then we're gonna call it a night, get our steak going for dinner, and then go hit the hot tub. So looking forward to those farm fresh eggs here soon. So all right, everybody, take care, have a good night, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video.